exactly. Okay, so this is intended to be a very basic class. Okay, like, let's just go ahead and get started. FYI, whenever the door is closed, always use the back door.
Thank you
Perfect.
very much.
Okay, sorry. I've gotten hit a couple times by that door. So today's class is Command, getting started using it for business. The 9 o'clock is a super fast-paced one, and then we're going to do the same thing at 9:30 at the regular.
Okay.
You are more than welcome to attend both, attend one, whatever works for you. In a quick nutshell, what are you hoping to get out of today's class? So I make sure that out of everything, out of the roughly 13 hours that we could spend in Command teaching it, where do we want to spend our time?
I think actually Smart Plan is probably going to be a
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Not for that start. I didn't have time to explore myself.
No worries, we will definitely go over Smart Plan, and there should be 5 of them up and running now, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
Last night at about 4 o'clock, there were still just 3, so they hadn't pushed those out yet.
Okay.
But I did receive a notification last night from the deployment team that the Smart Plan's, what they're calling for us, the playbook was up. All right, so Smart Plan, for sure. Anything else that you definitely want to cover?
I think everything else I can somewhat.
Okay,
go through.
so I also just want to make sure that I show you both the sales pipeline, because that is
Oh, what's up?
your actual business. What happened? Oh,
I was pulling the cord.
thanks for catching her. The sales pipeline, that is your actual business. So that's moving it, saying, hey, here's a buyer, here's what we're doing, here's what's going on, all right?
And also, this smart plan, do they include the follow-ups and when we have to follow up and all this?
Perfect. Yes, they do, and I will definitely show you what that looks like. Okay, and then if we have any leftover time, I would like to show you Task Manager. And Sketchhouse. With the full knowledge that all of this starts and ends with contacts. You have to have contacts in your system to be able to send smart plans to them. You have to have contacts in your system to be able to move those buyers and sellers through the pipeline. You have to have contacts in order to send out marketing pieces to them, right? So, great. All right, I'm going to turn this light off so you can see the screen a little better. Can you both see okay? All right. So, of course, using Chrome Incognito, let's go ahead and get started. Go to agent.kw.com. That is Command. And log in using your Keller Williams username and password. It's the same password that you use across all of our products. KW Connect, the intranet, your Kelly app, everything. Sorry, I am on Amazon Prime Day. Anybody buy anything? Amazon Prime? No? I have really bad posture. I slouch horribly, and I got that thing you stick on your back and it vibrates every time you slouch. So, apologies if I also go like this. All right. Sorry. Pull it up top. Okay. Here's your dashboard. This is where you're going to be starting. This is where everything begins. And all of these applets are also listed here along the left, although you can see, while this goes up and down, my applets don't. And I don't see some below here, right? So I could either minimize my screen to start seeing all of my applets, or I can just always come into my dashboard whenever I need to get something that's not on here. Yes, this is going to be changed in the future. Just right now, this is how it is. Okay, so, hi. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, I want you to go into contacts, and I want you to add yourself as a contact if you haven't already. Kevin, have you? Nope. All right, we're going to do that together. Adding a one-off contact, there's 2 ways you can do that. You can also do it using your Kelly app. We're going to go just ahead and Command right now. So click on Contacts, click Add Contact, and you're going to see for anybody who's used this in the past, this is a different contact form than it has been. This was updated a week ago, and this is meant to be basics, right? Name, email if you have it, phone number if you have it. Are they a lead? As in there's somebody that you are actively looking to help buy or sell right now. And do we need to add them to your sales pipeline? You can add in tags, and if you come down here, you're going to now see, it says scroll. You used to not be here, you actually had to know what the tag was called. Now you can see all your tags. This is exciting time, people. This is right. You guys are I was like, yes! We're here! And you guys are like, alright.
I don't was like.
It was, there was this tag field, and you just had to remember what your tags were called for everybody. Was it like, did I call it family, or was it friend of family? What was it? So you can now scroll through all of your optional tags, and then definitely you can add in additional information just by clicking on Add More Info. At a bare minimum, whenever possible, include a physical address. A lot of the smart plans revolve around having a physical address or neighborhoods in place for somebody. So go ahead and add in yourself.
2 names together?
Where it says full name, put in your full name. Yep. Any Star Wars fans in the room?
I have not.
What?
My Dasani, this is my Dasani water bottle in Bantu language.
I've never seen a full Star Wars movie.
No, not even original?
Not even one.
Shame.
I think I've watched like maybe 30.
Shame. Seriously, that hurts my heart. All right, back to business. Here we go. And while you're adding this one in, you absolutely can do imports if you have a CSV file. You can also connect this account to your iPhone, iPod account, to your Google contacts, to contactually, wherever you have your contacts, we have a way to get them in here. Some is just a little bit more labor intensive than others. But you definitely do not have to manually enter every single contact that you have. If you have questions on which is the best method for you, just let me know where your contacts are right now and I can let you know. We can, not during class today, but I can either point you in the right direction to get that done, or we can set up some one-on-one time to kind of chat.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's a home anniversary.
Oh yeah, right, because you're going to be able to, birthday plan comes out in 2 weeks. Home anniversary plan will be coming out in the future too, where it'll just automatically on their anniversary, hey, happy home anniversary, and it's a cute little gift. Yeah.
And do what? Email?
You get to decide.
Oh, okay.
It could be a text message, it could be an email, it could be a task to remind you to give them a call. Lots of different things can happen.
Oh,
Right?
it's more of a.
All right, so does everybody have a contact entered in that is yourself now at this point, yes? All right, moving along then. So we're gonna, oh yes, definitely scroll all the way to the bottom and click create, because we want to make sure that that ends up in system. Okay. All right, so we are going to pop on down to Smart Plans. Smart Plans is the 4th one down on the left. If you ever also are not sure, you hit the hamburger, the 3 lines in the top left-hand corner, and it does pop out the name of every single one of the items. I just like keeping things as tight and compact as possible, so I usually leave mine in, and I just click on Smart Plans. Now in Smart Plans, we're going to go through the Kelly Guide. Before we get started with this, does anybody in here, aside from Kevin, so Maggie or Yvonne, do either of you need me to send you the Keller Williams Command version logo?
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And I will also send you then a blank image that we have that's a really good space filler that works on a few other things too, in case you don't have your headshot completely set up yet. So I sent this out last night. Now this is weird, just want you to be aware, you're going to get an email from me. In the email, there are 2 images. One is coming through as an attachment, and one is coming through embedded in the email, and it's this giant box that you cannot see. You are going to need both for what we're about to do. And you're also going to need, forward, to kfam@kw.com, Maggie Slavova at Yahoo, or your Yahoo? Yeah. And then Yvonne at KW, here you go. And I'm also going to type up our legal footer for you. Information provided is deemed reliable, but is not guaranteed. I have not and will not verify information provided to me by a third party. Each office is going to want that legal footer in a minute too. So you'll probably want to leave that email open. So you download both of those images, just save them to your desktop for now. You're not going to need them for long. We just need to be able to quickly access them. So go ahead and save those 2 images to your desktop and copy that legal footer. And the great news is that once you go through the Kelly Guide of Smart Plans once, you will never have to do it again. The same Kelly Guide applies, it basically creates all of the background marketing that automatically pushes out to your Kelly Guide. And it will also feed into Sketchhouse to some degree, getting some of your information on all of your marketing pieces too. Right.
I know during the class before you had mentioned like different, I guess, photos that were non-copyright that we could use.
Yeah.
Sketchhouse?
It's in Sketchhouse.
Okay.
Yep.
I forgot how to get started.
No worries. That is, if we have time, work on the list.
Click on an attachment.
Yes, remember I showed you one is embedded, one is attached. I need you to save both of them. Yeah, so see that big giant space that you've got there, that white space? This is the picture. Yeah, right here.
Oh, okay.
You're just going to hover over it and right-click it, and you're going to save the image as.
Oh, okay.
And then save it to your desktop. Complete both of those images that I sent you.
Okay.
All right. Kevin, you got your saved?
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, so we're popping back into Command. Click here to manage your Smart Plans via Kelly Guide. And scroll down and click on Get Started. All right, so over here on the left is what the piece looks like as we're making it, and on the right is us actually making it. So go ahead and we'll start working our way through, starting with branded header by clicking on the arrow for branded header, or just click on Start. You have 2 different options there. Where it says Team Logo, oh sorry, are you everybody with me? You're with me, Kevin?
Yeah.
Great. Where it says Team Logo Upload Photo, that is the blank image that I sent you. That is a 360 by 360 transparent background. It will work on anything. So go ahead and upload that where it says Team Logo. Put in your first name, your last name. Your website does need to have the HTTP or the HTTPS. And if you don't know if yours is secure or not, the easiest thing to do is just go to the website and copy the URL. And if you don't already have a website set up, or you don't have one that you like, go ahead and use anything else. You can use Keller Williams' website, you can use your Facebook page, you can use any website in the whole world. But it is one of the few pieces that is required to make this happen. And Maggie, are you going? Do you need me to help you catch up to where we are? Or you're
I'm
with us?
sure.
You're with us. Awesome.
I'm
Okay.
still downloading your,
Okay.
okay. I think I got it.
And just kind of work your way, Kevin, as you go through, clicking next, next, next. And the DBA logo is the KW Command logo that I sent you. If you don't have your headshot already in a 360 by 360, just go ahead and upload that blank one that I sent you, or put in your headshot and just know that you need to come back and resolve it as soon as possible because it will smash and smush it into a perfect box size. And if you want us, you can just shoot me or Melissa an email saying, with your headshot saying, hey, please make this a Command headshot, and we'll just get it back to you in that perfect square format.
Okay.
I just used my pen.
Yeah, well, seriously. Wonderful, great, you are definitely in the right class then.
Okay, so I put the 2 things you sent me on my desktop.
Great.
Now what?
Yeah, we're going through the Kelly Guide, and we're just filling out everything in here.
Kelly Guide. Where do I click on that?
Sure, but just a heads up, Yvonne, in 15 minutes, the normal class is starting too.
Oh,
Yeah, this is the fast-paced one.
Oh, it is?
Yes. So you can
I didn't
certainly,
see that.
you can certainly go through, all of the classes are like that, where we have the first half hours fast, and then it goes to the normal.
And I'm gonna wait for, okay.
All right, so let me know if at any point you get stuck or you need like our broker's license number or anything, but just kind of keep working your way going next, 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 next. Put in at least 1 sentence for the bio. If you don't, it will default saying that you are in Austin looking forward to the Watermelon Festival. This is the place where it does that. Yeah. If you don't have any credentials, you don't have to put in anything, although you certainly could use the word realtor. And if you wanted to get that R with the circle, let me know and I can give you the alt code for that.
Yes.
Okay, that is alt 00174. Yes. 0174. Tight, right?
I did not know that. And that just specific to this website or in general?
No, that's an alt code for anything. Word, Photoshop, anything.
Now I know, okay.
On phone numbers, you know what? Let me test that. See if maybe this is one of the things that they changed. You previously couldn't use dots, you could only use dashes. Let's see. Yeah, no. Alright, still can't use dots. Have to, if you want to put anything in your phone number, you have to use dashes, cannot use dots.
Okay, that makes sense.
Me too, it just looks cleaner, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But for now, we cannot use dots, we have to use dashes. You do not have to put any social links in here, none of them are mandatory. However, you absolutely can put some in, and let me know if you need me to walk you through how to get your KW app link if you want that included in here, and I do recommend that you do that.
Perfect. We did it last time.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
To our personal app,
Yeah.
the last time when I tried to get it, it was saying coming soon, so I still don't have mine.
Okay, so in the next class, when we walk everybody through how to get that, we'll make sure that you get yours. Yes? Are you sticking around for the second class?
No, we'll see.
Okay. If not, just go ask Melissa how you get your custom URL for your mobile app, which she can show you out. And you got the legal footer, so you're good, yes? Everybody's good? We're good? We have this? Wonderful. Configure your email. This is simply the reply to, yes! Sorry, all 5 of them are here. This is the first time I'm seeing this out of QA. Okay.
I got it, I have it here.
Oh, good. Okay, because you've been to these classes before, so
Yeah.
Okay, so you can now see there are 5 different smart plans. We are on section 3 now. In the future, when you come into smart plans and you click on Get Started, here I'll show you what that looks like. You will not have to go through all that we have just gone through. You click on Smart Plans, click here to manage your smart plans, and then just click on number 3 smart plans. Up here at the top, they don't look like links,
Okay.
they're links. Right. Yeah, I'm like, did you do that on purpose? Or like you actually have to,
I don't think so.
yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird, yes, but because you've already done your marketing profile, you've already configured your email, you can just now click on Smart Plans to get to this area.
Okay.
So the monthly neighborhood nurture, the bi-weekly, and the quarterly plan, these are the ones that have been in existence before. This one sends out an email once a month and then waits 30 days. And you can click view steps and actually see, right, it sends out an email, it waits, 4 weeks, and then it repeats. This one sends out an email, waits 2 weeks, and then repeats. The quarterly phone call reminds you to call people every 90 days. Do not put all of your contacts on this plan today. Average about 10 a day if you can over the next 90 days, because that way you're only being reminded to call 10 people 5 days a week instead of getting on 276 reminders on one day.
Oh, we're gonna get it in the home.
Through your Tele app. You can also find them on here as well through the task manager. All right, so these are the 2 new ones, the long-term nurture and the midterm nurture. So the midterm nurture is if somebody says that they're looking to purchase a home within the next 6 months. They're not a hot lead saying that they need to move now, but in the next 3 to 6 months, it's going to set them up on the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. Whenever you see NN, that's what it is. If you ever see MNN, it's monthly neighborhood nurture. Okay, so they're going to automatically get this email every 2 weeks. It's going to wait. It's going to give you a reminder to call them to check in. It's going to wait 2 weeks. It's then going to send them a text message, and then it's going to start over giving them an email, wait, you call, email, wait, text message. And so that's every 3 to 6 months. Somebody who's looking to purchase a home in the next 6 to 12 months is put on just the monthly neighborhood nurture, so they're getting an email just once a month, not every other week. They're going to wait 10 days, remind you to check in, wait 10 days. It's going to send a value email, whether they're a buyer or a seller, wait 10 days, and then send them a text. So a slightly different thing, and they're not hearing from you quite as often, which makes sense, right? They don't want to buy a home for at least 6 to 12 months, although that can always change, right? So let's go ahead and add yourself to one of these plans right now, the contact that you made for yourself. Now you will find that the system will not let you be put on, you can't put a contact onto both of the midterm nurtures. And there's no reason to put them on the midterm or long-term as well as the monthly and bi-weekly because they're included into it, right?
Oh, I have to add or tag myself as something as well. Search.
You shouldn't have to. If I search for interesting. Okay, right, it found me without me having to put a tag in. Did it find you at all, Kevin?
No.
Okay. So leave,
Let me try that.
it sounds like maybe we have, oh, of course. Great. Close out of this Kelly guy for a quick second. Head back into contacts. And you're going to go to yourself. And Kevin, I have you, and I also have you in my system. So to open up, click on yourself, your contacts, you're looking at a page looking like this, yes? Great. Come on down here and click Add Neighborhood.
Okay.
Did you already do that? Did it automatically? Okay. So we need to, and this is also brand new as of yesterday, it's suggesting neighborhoods. It's saying, hey, based on most likely your mailing address that I already have in the system for you, you live currently in what is known as the Washington neighborhood. But you may also be interested in what is called Market Almaden, Townian, North Willow Glen, Spartan. So I can click on these, or I can go to Add Neighborhood and it opens up a map and I can put in any neighborhood I want. Okay. So go ahead and add a neighborhood to yourself. Perfect. And now, because right, you have to have a neighborhood in order to be put onto a monthly neighborhood nurture campaign. Right. Sorry, wasn't thinking about that one. Now, you do not have to have a physical address to add someone to a neighborhood. So a good example of this is you have an open house this weekend. People are coming into the open house. They sign in, you get their name, maybe an email address, right? You probably didn't get their home address. They probably didn't give that to you when they signed in. But you know that they're at least interested in the house that you're showing, so you can add that neighborhood to them. Because if nothing else, you know that they're kind of interested in that neighborhood. So you don't have to have a physical address to have a neighborhood. Okay. All right, and then once you've got that added, we can just head back to our smart plans, and we should be able to add yourself to any one of those smart plans.
So fun that Excel is coming soon.
Oh yeah, it'll say that for a long time. I don't know why. All I can think of is that for a while, so I was one of the beta testers on the original smart plans, which they didn't have these set up. It was, hey, welcome to smart plans, create your smart plan. And it was this, like you were doing like if-then statements, and if it's this, then bring in this, and you were doing this like flow chart kind of thing. And we were trying to say it's cool, except that it's way too complicated for probably 95% of people who just want to send out a darn email every 30 days, you know? And so they went back to the drawing board. In the meantime, they're doing this. When Smart Plans is fully up and running, you will be able to create any Smart Plan for any occasion and create your own custom emails too for it. Yeah. So my guess is that's why it's still coming soon, is because we just have guides right now. Yeah, you can't customize these at this moment. Yes, Maggie?
So how does this relate to this 8x8 plan? And in bold they said right now 19 something.
Yeah.
So
Right.
how we
Yeah.
can
Yeah.
plan
Yeah.
on this?
Right. So as we talked about yesterday in the team meeting, the 8x8 is coming in 2 weeks.
8x8?
8x8 for buyers and sellers, and the birthday follow-up is what's coming in 2 weeks. They're giving us 2 new smart plans every 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And the 8x8 that they're giving us, they said is for both buyers and sellers.
Okay.
Haven't seen it yet, but
Okay.
Interesting how that works. Okay.
do you guys want me to see if I can get it from the QA? Right, I don't know how
Yeah.
serious you are.
For the 8x8?
Yeah? Do you want me to see if I have access to it?
Sure.
See it? Okay. Let's go to,
The computer's stuck for some reason.
console dash QA dot command. And, yeah, no, seriously, this is, okay. So what I'm about to show you is like the labbing environment. This is not the normal environment, so there's stuff in here that might not work, might not look right, and that's normal, because we're not in the regular version. Let's take a look and see what we've got in QA though. Oh, I have it because I haven't done this in my QA. All right, I'll find out. I'll let you guys know later. Damn it. All right. Sorry, that would have been too cool. Okay, once you're in contacts, you can also, let me go to, Kevin, you're going to be a good touch person today. Kevin Pham. In here, I can add activities, I can add tasks, and I can, oh, they changed it. This used to be a link where I could add you to a smart plan. I will let tech support know that that little button has gone away. Because there also used to be a thing up here that said smart plans, and I could add anybody, you could add somebody to a smart plan from the contact. So I'm sure that will come back as soon as they're alerted that it went away yesterday. All right, so as of right now, the only way to add someone to a smart plan is to go into the smart plans and add them. Alrighty. Now let's add contact. Now let's add Kevin. And there's Kevin. And add smart plan. So Kevin, you are now going to be receiving an email from me once a month, so you can see what it looks like. Always test them out on yourself before you send them to clients.
I just put it up, I put myself on the midterm one, so.
Great. Good job.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so that means that on the midterm also has some reminders for you to do. It's going to remind you to call somebody.
Like a third contact.
Yeah, I think, and it was every probably 10, 20 days or something. Those are going to show up here in Task Manager. Task Manager is all the lists of things that you are supposed to do, and this is populated through smart plans, through the sales pipeline, and through anything that you manually enter. So this doesn't have to be associated with the contact, doesn't have to be associated with transaction. This could just be your list of to-do items around your business. Right. And this also feeds into Kelly and gives you your daily reminders as your notifications. This is the project that I've specifically been tasked with working with our developers. If you have any feedback specifically around Task Manager, do not submit it to tech support, give it to me instead, and I'll get it right to the developer so we can get that fixed and resolved. Or ideas for future implementation as fast as possible.
Okay.
Right.
So what's the time frame? Because you had mentioned that it would set up a task for you to call someone. As I don't see it in here yet, so.
So instead of saying, what do I need to do today, change that to say, all time then, do this.
Okay.
And just a heads up, it is 9:30. So the fast class has ended. I will now start teaching a normal pace class. You guys can certainly stick around for that. And since a bunch of people texted me last night saying that they were going to be coming from the marketing meeting, which is just getting out now, and they probably won't be here for another 15 minutes or so, I will do whatever you guys want me to do for the next.
It's gonna start at 10 o'clock?
No, it's starting right now.
Okay.
But since you two are the only ones here right now, do you want me to just kind of keep going down the list of stuff? All right.
The task manager, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, your task manager is not difficult. It's really not. So sales pipeline, that is your business, right? It's currently called opportunities here on the left-hand side. And then when you click on opportunities, the page takes you, it says sales pipeline. Oh, nope, they changed that too yesterday. So no, that's good. It actually says opportunities now and create opportunity. Hey, this is your business. This is whenever you are working with somebody who raises their hand saying, yes, I am interested in buying a house or selling a house, or if you have your broker's license, Maggie, and you do leases, you can also track those down here too. This is where you create opportunities, and this is where you move a client along the path. This is also going to be where our compliance will be starting September 1st. So let me show you an example of a seller possibility. So you can make these different stages, and you can delete them, you can add to them, you can do whatever you want just by clicking this Edit Stages button. And you can move them along just by clicking drag and dropping. That's cool. Clicking drag and drop, right. And what happens is that within these editing stages, I can create customized checklists for myself and my business. So yes, the checklist will also involve paperwork when that becomes functioning September 1st. But in the meantime, you can set up standards for yourself of, hey, whenever somebody is truly still in the nurturing phase, as in, I don't know when they're going to sell a house, but they told me that they want to, I can say that I need to make sure I add them to my Neighborhood Nurture Smart Plan, and then I'm going to remind myself to call them in 15 days. Like, these are things, standards that I want to set for myself to make sure that I always do the same thing, right? You can completely add and delete anything just by clicking add item, or by clicking on here and saying delete, for the Xbox. You can add new stages. I added the 1 to 2 years out just yesterday, because we were like, well, yeah, nurture is kind of vague and ephemeris, and hot is immediate. This is, yeah, right, somewhere in between that. And you know what? It is in between that, and so let's actually put it in between that. And now I have my stages in a different order. So it's very, very, and what you think you should be able to do in here in terms of customizing these, typically what you think should work does work. All right. This, and again, so as you move your people along, oh, that did say sales pipeline, I don't know if you guys noticed. And the thing still does it, sorry. And then you can come into the appointment stage. Are you still scheduling the appointment? Have you scheduled it? Have you kept the appointment? And again, you just kind of move the people along from step to step. When it gets into under contract, this is when things can start to get really, really cool. So when I'm here, you're going to be on September 1st adding documents under this tab, right? Offers is the page that we're going to be on here if you receive multiple offers on your listings. Because remember, we were in a seller pipeline, right? If I can come in here, I can add in the different offers that we have, and I can add in my own personal analysis. I can have the system put in some insights into it, and then for my clients, I can do an offer comparison sheet for them that lists out, yes, totally cool. And where I've also gotten to put in my own pros and cons that I feel on each one of these offers. Now, back in the day, remember when we were sometimes getting 27, 45 offers, I think was the most we had on a listing in this office a couple years ago. It was ridiculous. Yes, thank you very much. It was
exhausting.
Oh, I remember right. It was Christine LaQuang, and it took her multiple trips out to her car with all of these offer packages. It was just like, imagine if she could have done something like this for her client on top of all the offers. Yes, you are required by law in California to show your client offers. This would make that so much easier for your clients and much less stressful. And when you have this, you can either, I wouldn't suggest emailing it directly to them. Download it. Download it and either print it out and bring it with you. Download it and email to them saying, hey, here's this to look over, but we're also going to go over it in person, right? This is amazingly beneficial and a tool that we haven't really had an easy access to unless you created a very fancy Excel spreadsheet. Stephen did, by the way. If you ever want to see a fancy Excel spreadsheet, Stephen's your guy on that one. And then this is going to become green sheets. So the green sheet, the online system is going away. Instead, you're just going to be putting in the information here, and then it'll eventually say, hey, it looks like you have enough info to have your MCA create your commission demand. Click a button, and I get your commission tab, which eventually, which is what we currently call green sheets. You can put on notes in here, and you'll be able to create a timeline as well. So this is kind of where the fun stuff in the sales pipeline happens. Questions for me on
What was that called? What was that tab?
it's two different names, but the tab is called opportunities. Different sections within here call it the sales pipeline. At one point it was called deals,
So what's going to be equivalent to document?
but I just showed you.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's going to be opportunities. That's under opportunities.
It's this thing here, yes, which on the left-hand side is called opportunities.
So can we do everything that we were able to do in .loop, splits, change, all that? So how are we going to do that?
Yeah, I was on a call. The call that I was on yesterday during the team meeting, I don't know if you were here in the team meeting. That's okay. So I had like my laptop with me and I had headphones in because I was on a Zoom call that was specifically about this.
Oh, and then we're not doing e-sign, right? We're doing
DocuSign. If you want, just like .loop, do you have to use .loop for e-signatures? No.
I love doc.
No, I'm just saying, like, my grandmother is 96 years old, okay? She doesn't own a computer. She is not going to be digitally signing documents, right? Right. Somebody, her realtor will still have to walk to her door with paper, and she'll still have to sign with a pen, and then you can upload them. It doesn't matter how you sign them, as long as they're signed. And this is going to give you a DocuSign account.
So is this connected to DocuSign at the moment?
So you saw how it was grayed out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So right, you can't under contract on this one.
Oh, because I have a separate DocuSign subscription, and I
Understood.
was asking when I can be able to use this one.
Yeah, so absolutely September 1st.
Oh.
Possibly before that, I will be teaching a class on compliance in Command on Monday, August 26th at noon, I believe. And that is, because I can't show you right now because it doesn't
With
make sense.
DocuSign, right? For DocuSign.
So I'll be teaching a KW Command class on Monday, August 26th that is using Command for compliance, and a small piece of that is DocuSign.
How long do we have Docu up to?
September 1st. Anything that you go into contract on August 30th, use Outlook. If you go into contract on September 1st, you'll be using Command. And again, I will go really in depth on that on the class on Monday, August 26th. At noon?
Yeah, 12 to 2.
Perfect, okay. Okay, so we had a couple of people join us, so we're going to go into the normal class now. Sorry, you guys caught the kind of the tail end of the backspace class there. All right, so
I'll go make her announce that.
I asked her to.
Yeah, I'll remind her.
Thank you so much. Okay, so welcome Cynthia, Yvonne officially. Make sure whenever you're using commands that you're using Chrome in incognito mode. If you're not in Chrome and not in incognito, it will not work correctly.
Yeah, it looks like mine is not working because it has been.
Yeah, so it looks like it's possibly not online. Is that the issue?
I have no idea.
Yeah, so can you look at your Wi-Fi connection?
It looks like it's connected.
Connection connected, secured. Which is disconnected. I'm going to reconnect it and see if that works. Okay. Thank you so much, Helen. All right, so we'll definitely go over smart plans because that's how you follow up with leads, right? You kind of just saw a little bit of the sales pipeline. We can go into that more if you want. What else do you want me to go over in the next hour and a half? What would you find the most value in?
Read it all.
So there's roughly 13 hours of classes currently in Command. We have an hour and a half. So let me know if, as we're going through, if you want me to give you more time, or if you're like, you know what, we're cool, skip to the next thing. Just kind of let me know, and we'll go through it. And don't forget that everything starts and ends with contacts. You absolutely need to have your contacts, and the better organized you have these using tags and fields, the better off you are going to have with your business as time goes by. Thank you so much, Kevin. So definitely spend some time thinking about your tags and thinking about your fields. Tags are how do I want to classify this person with other people like them? And like them could be close family and friends. Would you send a slightly different message to your close family and friends than you would the people who are in your volleyball world?
Yes.
Okay, of course you would. I was just up at the Villages on Monday teaching this. They have a Christmas party that they have every year that they invite a specific group of people to. They have a tag now that says Christmas party invite because there are certain things they do for just this select group of people that they don't do for anybody else in their day-to-day, you know? So start thinking through are these people that I know because of a social club that I'm a member of? Like Tom's a member of the Corvette Club. I'm in the junior league. We have different relationships and different marketing messages, which is the key to these different groups of people, right? So if you haven't started your tags yet, start thinking about who that might be, what those groups might be like, knowing that, of course, it's not set in stone. You can always change your tags, add to them, whatever. Yes, Yvonne?
Can people be in?
Yes, for example. All can be in so many different tags. I was testing it out, and when I got to 50 tags and it was still letting me, I just stopped testing it. So there possibly is a limit, and the limit is at least more than 50.
So can I?
Yeah.
I can
Yes, sure, yes.
each different.
Yes,
Okay.
and I tested it out to see if there was a limit.
Oh.
And when I got to 50 tags on one person's contact, and it still was letting me add more, I just stopped testing because I'm like, so there could be a limit, and if there is, that limit is more than 50.
Can you have more than one tag on the same person?
Yes, that's what Yvonne was just asking,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was testing that, and I was able to add at least 50 tags to a contact. It's possible that there is a limit of how many tags you can have on one person. It is more than 50.
I think that's a little.
Right, I was like, I don't need to keep going, because I can't imagine
I would
somebody
think
would.
maybe 5 or 6, maybe.
You, Yvonne, I think have quite a few tags in my system, because I have you tagged as just an agent.
Yeah.
Right, I have you tagged as a Keller Williams agent. I have you tagged specifically as a KW San Jose Gateway agent. I have you tagged as a mentor. I have you tagged as an ALC member, and I have you tagged as a growth committee member. So I have you, I think, with 6 tags.
You're very organized.
And I've been using this for a year and a half. I do not want you to think that I'm good at this because I'm just good at technology. It's because I've been using it every day for a year and a half. That is the easiest way to get good at this, is just use it every single day.
That's the key.
That's the key, right?
Yeah.
And the good news is that you can now run your business off of here, so it should be really easy to use this every day. Because you're just going to log in here each morning, or you're going to open up Kelly each morning, and this morning I got the alert of how many follow-ups I had to make today. Right, here we go. This morning, 2 hours ago, I got an alert saying that I have 1 task that's due today. I click on it, it tells me the 1 person I told myself that I wanted to call today.
So you can do your schedule here?
Nope, no, this is separate. You will be able, you can in QA right now. If I'm on my dashboard, do you guys need me to turn the light off to see this better, or is the glare?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little, yeah. When you're on the home page, these are the applets that you can currently use, all the different sections of command. And if you scroll down, it says what's coming soon. Calendar is still coming soon, Maggie. Right. Yeah. You will be able to track your most precious resource. That's what it says. You will be able to, not yet. The other one thing that you probably still have is coming soon that I have access to is the listing consult. I am so excited for the day that you get that one. The listing consult, I think, is going to be one of the biggest changes in how we do listing presentations.
What is it? Just give us a.
Yeah, so the thing that I love about it, well, so much of it, but the main thing is that if I have time before, so let's say Maggie wants to sell her house. Okay, great. I have an appointment to meet with Maggie on this Saturday for to do her listing presentation together, right? Today, because it's just Wednesday, I'm going to send you an email saying, hey Maggie, before we meet, I would love to get your opinion on the houses around you. Now, I've gone through, because this links up with the MLS, and I've chosen the comparable properties to what I believe is Maggie's house, right? And I've now sent her pictures from those properties without saying what the address was, and saying, hey Maggie, your kitchen, thinking about your kitchen, does it look nicer than this picture or not as nice? And this person's kitchen, nicer or not as nice? So without giving me an actual number, Maggie is telling me where she thinks her house should be priced. All of those times when you go to meet with sellers and they push back and say, our house should be at least 1.4 million because it's on a cul-de-sac. While I understand that that's how you feel, you actually are the one who told me that the value of your home should be here because you're the one who compared it to these other properties. So you're now getting buy-in from your client before they even become your client on how their home should be priced.
Is this in use right now, or will it?
This is what I told, so when I first started off talking about this, this is the one that I said that you probably still have it as coming soon, but you could be one of the beta users who does have access to it. I wouldn't know that without you telling me. Because I don't know who signed up to be a beta user and who didn't, and who has access and who doesn't. So that's probably still one of your coming soon, and then Yvonne asked me to give you guys just a little quick heads up on what's coming on that one. So that's the listing
My
consult.
smart plans are actually on coming soon.
Okay, so here, are you on your dashboard, Maggie?
Yes.
Yes. And if you scroll all the way down to where it says coming soon, what does it say down here at the very bottom?
We just started that. I got calendar, dashboard, collaborate, listing, consultation.
Yes, just those 4 items.
Okay,
Yes, perfect. Your smart plans are up here because they are already available.
Yes, but when I click on.
No, I know that. I know that. We're gonna, because it's, yeah, so that what Maggie is talking about is that when she clicks on Sketch House, and it says, this is coming soon. Oops, sorry, not SketchUp. When she clicks on Smart Plan, and it says that they're coming soon, every single one of us currently says that, and that's because you don't actually have the full Smart Plans. None of us do. That's one of the products that I was beta testing, and it was so confusing and cumbersome. The idea was cool. We're like, this does not work for 95% of the agents in Keller Williams. Like, you actually had to know how to code. Like, you were having to bring in if-then statements, and you were making flow charts, and cool concepts, but I don't have 29 minutes to create an email follow-up plan, right? So they said, okay, we're going to create these Smart Plan guides it'll just give you this while we work on the long term, and that long term is this. So you do have the 5 Smart Plans that we went over this morning already. You do not have the full Smart Plans. Nobody does, not even me. They took it away from even the beta users because they're like, we're not actually quite sure what it's going to look like at this point. Okay, so are you guys ready to dive in?
Yes.
Great. So please start off.
I'm starting off right now on incognito.
Right, use Chrome, incognito.
Right,
Okay.
there, and where are you now?
Nothing.
Oh, never mind, I'm there.
So you're on the homepage, dashboard. Okay, we are going to start off with contacts because every single thing that we use all starts with contacts, right? If you don't have contacts, you do not have a business. If nothing else, I want you to add yourself as a contact right now. If you have already added yourself, just kind of give me a thumbs up right now and we'll move on.
Let me see. Search contacts. Put my name.
And we have classes that are just about contacts, so I'm not diving into that today. Today we're talking about how to use command for business purposes. And contacts is certainly part of that, but that's a whole hour on its own.
We're there.
So you are in yours, Marisa. Wonderful. And do me a favor, confirm, open up your contact, and make sure that you have a neighborhood assigned to yourself.
What does that mean?
How do I know?
Yeah, I'll open mine right now.
I have Knightsbridge, but that's from you. No, I don't know.
Okay, so first off, let me just ask, does everybody have themselves as a contact?
Yes.
Yes. Maggie?
Yes.
Yes, great, okay. So go ahead and click on your name, and you should see something that looks sort of like this. It might not be exact, but it should look something sort of like this, yes? Okay, great. Now, if you scroll down to where it says neighborhoods, you should see something that looks sort of like this, where you have at least one neighborhood assigned to yourself.
Yeah. No map, but. It doesn't give me the map, yeah. Neighborhood, yes.
I have to add.
It doesn't give you the map?
Yes, it says just the name of the neighborhood.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to exit out of mine.
Maybe we need to click on something.
You do, that's why I'm trying to exit out of mine so I can, no, I didn't. Yeah, give me a second, I'm going to try
I'm
to,
just talking out loud.
okay. I'm just getting to a contact that I don't have a neighborhood so I can create one with you guys.
Okay, so when I clicked on Ruskin.
Yeah, we're gonna all do it together, I want to make sure we don't get too far ahead. Okay, so you're on possibly something that looks like this, where it says add neighborhood. Great, go ahead and click add neighborhood. And you can either search for a neighborhood if you know the specific name of the neighborhood, and I don't. There's 220,000 in here, I don't know them. So I'm going to click on find on map. And it's going to open up a map, and I'm just going to zoom in until I find an area like we were talking about earlier. Maybe you just did an open house this weekend. People signed into your open house. Did they most likely give you their home address when they signed into your open house? No. We didn't even ask for that, right? But what do we know about them? We know that they're possibly interested in the neighborhood where the open house was. Add that neighborhood, right? This does not have to be their home address neighborhood. This is a neighborhood of interest, right? All right, so go ahead and add a neighborhood to your contact that you have. And you certainly can add more than one. And again, I've tested it out to see how many I can add, and I never found a limit. So there possibly is a limit, but it's more than 70.
A quick question, do we want the console command to know where?
So you jumped ahead, so give me a second, but I'm going to catch up with you.
I didn't jump ahead, it's just.
Are you still on this page that looks like this map?
Yeah, but it keeps popping up.
What keeps happening?
Console command, KW wants to know.
Oh, always say allow on every website that you go to. Yeah, you will have a better experience when your computer knows where you are. So like if you're on Yelp and you say, hey, I want to find a sushi restaurant, and it's going to say, hey, are you okay letting Yelp know where you are? Yes, because then it will find sushi restaurants near you, not sushi restaurants in Boston.
How are you able to get that blue highlight on the neighborhood there?
Yeah.
Zoomed in?
All right, so you clicked on find on map, yes? So this is the page that you're on, and everybody, I want to make sure we're all together. Everybody has something that looks sort of like this, a map, great. We're going to zoom in, keep zooming, and you're seeing that more neighborhoods are popping up the more I zoom in. Great.
Okay.
When you get to a spot that's like this, where there really aren't, I mean, there's a couple of open pockets, but that's because that's a park, there aren't any houses there. You can go ahead and you can select one or multiple neighborhoods. Once you've selected your neighborhoods, just click on Save. If you can't see Save, let me know and I will fix your computer so you can see it. And then when you click on Save, you should automatically come back to your contact. If it doesn't for some reason, let me know right now.
Okay, it didn't in my case.
Okay, so did you click Save?
I did.
You clicked Save,
Okay, so here, and.
so you need to scroll down so you can see your Save button. Scroll down. Are you able to scroll down? There we go. And Save is kind of hidden. Perfect. It took you back to your contact. Good, just as we were hoping. So hang out there for a second.
Okay.
Everybody else, did you click Save? Yes? Ladies?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, that's it. If you don't see Save, let me know. It's down.
There it is.
Yes.
I have to control minus.
It's okay. All right, so good. You are now on the page that I'm on. Everybody's on a page like this where you see this, yes? This is letting you know that a website has now been created for this client for these neighborhoods. So if you click on Preview, it's going to open up a new window, and it's actually going to take you to that website. So you're going to see this website that was created for your client. This is exactly what they will see. They can go through and they can sort by either the newest homes in that neighborhood, by the cheapest homes in that neighborhood, and they can go through the different neighborhoods that you've assigned them. Now, when the consumer mobile app comes out,
Okay, what is the preview?
so it's right here. So are you on a page that looks like this?
Yeah.
Okay, and right here it says preview.
No, actually I don't have it.
You don't have that.
It
It
didn't
didn't do
show when
So
I.
did anybody else's not do what it was expecting to do? Okay, all right.
So I saved it, we together saved it.
Sure.
Okay.
Huh. There we go. I don't know why it wasn't doing it, but it is now. Okay, all right. So if you click on preview, this is what your client will see. Pretty cool, right? Now, it's not super awesome, it's not super fancy. It's going to get much, much better when the consumer mobile app comes out.
So what it's showing is actives. I'm scrolling down here. Oh, no, it's pending to.
It's showing a lot of stuff. It's showing stuff from the MLS.
Contingent.
So
What's the timeline on this?
click here. So yeah, hang on. All right. So is everybody on a page that looks like this? Okay. So then click on filter, and here's where you can start putting in different kinds of things. Right? Yeah, you can put in bedrooms, bathrooms, price range, square feet. Let's go ahead and just say 2 or more, and 1 or more bathrooms, and apply filter. And now I'm in here. I can also come in and I can do a satellite view if that's what I prefer. And I want you to know this because your client could ask you these questions, right? They're going to say, how do I filter this so I only see the 4-bedroom properties? How do I do this? So I want to make sure that you know how to do this. And more than that, they can also use the draw, where they can say, just show me stuff that's now in this little image that I just drew. And there's 5 more houses that were added.
If we know their particulars, can we do this for them?
If you're sitting with them at their computer, yes.
Oh, so we can't set it up. They have to set this up on their filters.
are you talking about saved searches?
I got
That does not exist yet. Okay, so we're talking, these are different things.
it.
Okay, these are very, very good. Okay, all right. So this is a website that was created for your client, specifically on these neighborhoods. This is just like the very first step in a very long step of creating a consumer experience. This is simply the, hey, here's market information, and this is also going to generate those monthly neighborhood nurtures and those bi-weekly neighborhood nurtures. Basics. This is super basics. This is hopefully to generate a conversation with you, right? This is, you're going to send them this, and then you're going to call them and follow up and say, hey, did you get that email I sent you? Did you have any questions? How, what are there other areas that you're interested in? It's going to do those things. Now, what you're talking about, Yvonne, doesn't exist yet because that's the consumer mobile app. The consumer mobile app, the new one, is not out yet. It's supposed to be coming out this quarter, and that is where you can create saved searches for your clients, where your clients can create saved searches, where your client can take their phone and say, I'm going to start jogging right now, and they take their jogging route, and they finish, and they say, I want to live somewhere within 5 minutes of that route that I just jogged. I'm driving to work now, here's my commute, I want to live within 10 minutes of this commute. Only show me houses that are in that. Only show me houses that are in a school district. Only show me houses that are in, that is coming soon. This is real basic. This is intended to start a conversation. What you're talking about is coming with the consumer app.
Okay, and this is called Neighborhood.
They're calling this this is the customized, the individual, oh gosh, they're calling these the ISDX website or something.
Oh, I wonder if we have those,
Where it's very, very, very basic. This is just generated by the system to provide your clients with that monthly neighborhood nurture and the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. Nothing more. This is not an advanced search, right? Right, you guys can see that. Like this is, it's cool. I mean, it's awesome, and it's intended for you to follow with a phone call. Okay.
So the app that we're sharing right now with KW, that's going to be replaced for the one that you're talking about.
Which is why we're helping you share it with as many people as possible, because just like any other app on someone's phone, when it has an update, and it automatically updates, right?
Okay.
It's going to automatically update, and it will stay branded to you. Make sure you're sharing your branded app with clients, not the generic KW Realty app. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, see me after class, because it's very important. Okay. All right, so we have now all opened up our own, created our own contact, added neighborhoods to our own contact, and viewed the website that a client would see if that was created for them. Does anybody have any questions on what we've just accomplished? All right, we're going to move on then.
Sorry, real quick.
Yes?
Okay, what do we do after we get into our contacts? How do we get to here? To the neighborhood?
You click add neighborhood, or you just scroll down to the neighborhoods. And text, we can do that later,
Maybe you don't have a neighborhood.
because we're gonna move on to the next step, unless somebody has a specific question on what we just did. Okay, all right. So the next step then is we're gonna go down to smart plans. Please let me know if you need me to forward you. Has anybody in here not been through my marketing profile command class?
I'm sorry, how do we
And
get,
once you've done it once, you're good. That's what I'm asking. I don't have to send you something. What do you want?
how do we get from there to back to,
Just close that tab.
oh, you just close it.
Because you got a bunch of tabs open. One of your tabs is command.
You just close
Yep.
that. Okay.
All right. So does anybody in here need me to still send you the command KW San Jose Gateway logo? Or have you already done it because you've gone through a marketing class before? Okay, great. And does anybody need me to send you a completely blank square that you can use in place of the team logo or your headshot if your headshot is not yet a 360 by 360? We're all good? Everybody's good?
Now, how do you test that?
You would have, that's why I asked, have you attended one of my marketing classes in the past?
I was just asking in general for everybody.
Well, that's how you would test that, is because you would have attended that class before.
Yeah.
You're good. Okay, great. So everybody click on Smart Plans, and this should be pretty fast. Go ahead and click here.
Confidence in it.
No, it sounds like you guys have already done what we're about to do. So I'm just going to show you the new Smart Plans. So go ahead and click on here to manage your Smart Plans via the Kelly.